everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back. This is your second High School Musical, the series, Season 4 episode review. I apologize for the bigger gap than I was expecting. Things happen in my life, and when I plan something out, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. As well as, last week we were in a different direction. Now this week we're in another direction because I was remodeling a little bit. I'm still remodeling now. I don't think this is the final version. I'm still experimenting a little bit. It might go back to that way. Next week could be a different angle, different format. Who the hell knows? I'm still figuring this out. This is the one part when you change things around, is that the angles I used to get before are no longer usable because I don't feel like changing it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so this is we'll be experimenting the next couple of weeks. And the good thing about this this series in particular is that we're doing all the episodes, like it's already out. So it's I get to experiment, right? So maybe next episode will be something different. Maybe you never know. But this week with the show, I completely forgot about that. It's High School Musical versus High School Musical, as you know. It's number 4 versus number 3, the stage production. As it's going back to, like, last week was such a perfect start to the season. It was like everything we needed. This was more like we're focusing on the core dynamic of the season itself, because again, it wasn't just going to be about the legacy characters and everything, because like that's not what the show's about. Like they were not going to sacrifice the final season to be HSM4. I knew that wasn't the plan, so I knew that, okay, we probably weren't going to see most, if not any of the OGs again until later on, which I was right about. This was more about setting up the conflict between our current cast and, of course, obviously the newcomers, the stars of HSM4, and see how does their dynamic clash. And honestly, they actually do make a good point on some of the tropes here, and actually they argue the clichéness actually doesn't work out per se. And I'm actually more curious to see how things can go. And definitely this was a little bit more of a slower burn. It didn't really it was more like a setup, but at the same time giving us what we want, like, progressing things further, because that's what a show really does. Like, it allows itself to, give you what you need to see in the episode, but at the same time, it allows you to pick up some cues, and, that will be more prevalent later on in the actual season, which I know is only 8 episodes, but, already so far, I'm like, I am so ready for this to end, only to see, I want to know how this is going to end. What does it look like, per se? But with that being said, let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of High School Musical, the series. So we begin, it's the next day, it's a big old day for the Wildcats. It's day 1 of rehearsing for HSM4. They're ready to go. They're just assuming this is going to be amazing. They're part of history, the thing that they've been, clamoring for years and years and years. They get to actually fully be a part of the legacy in their own way. It's great, it's crazy. The only consequence is that they also have to audition for the High School Musical 3 senior year on the same day as the rehearsals for 4. So they kind of have to choose, but of course Ricky said, no, the rehearsal should be an hour, so by the time it's up, then it will be Miss Chen's turn to get the people in there, and we could do our own thing. They go in, Ricky and Gina are still doing the whole secret relationship thing. It's cute. It's it's cute. They just want to preserve their happiness for themselves, and that is basically it. So they get dragged in there. They're ready to go. They're just getting explained the simple rules of Hollywood. You're an extra. You have no words and you have no line. You will only be told what to do, and that's it. Which is kind of a little bit not really a good time to be talking about that, considering the entire what's going on in the world right now. But considering the fact they are theater kids and they have skills in choreograph, if this was season 1, they'd be completely doomed. But since they've had at least 3 musicals worth of experience under their belt, they're immediately ready to go, ready to pounce in on it and get that started. They immediately impress them. They press the choreographers. Okay, you guys got some mood. Not gonna lie over there. They're about to go deeper into a much more advanced version of the set, but the director comes in, immediately introduces herself, and she's like, yeah, I have not seen a single High School Musical film until I got this job, which I'm like, bruh, why? And I know people are going to say, oh, you can watch them, you can watch you didn't have to watch any of the previous movies to make a new one. You don't have to. I'm like, yeah, that's understandable. I do get that. But at the same time, I'm just like, well, why do we really need to, like, again, like, this is HSM4. Not only are you, I know it's a new chapter, I understand that, but you're bringing back the legacy character, and I know people are going to say, well, they did in this one, they did in that one. I get it, but, like, there's just something special of HSM. It feels so weird if it's not Kenny Ortega. It's just so weird. Also, I would not be surprised if we do get a Kenny Ortega cameo this season. I'm actually going to call that right now. So immediately she gets into it, and eventually the new girl, Emmy, now I know her name, she calls her out and like, well, did you film any win any awards? And she's just like, you're fired. Get off my set. Like, I'm done with you. Get off. I'm like, poor Emmy, poor cannon fodder. Like, when you got a freshman on the cast, you gotta like give all the jokes. She's the newbie. She's got 4 years of potential. I'm pretty sure when they pictured this show last season, when she was, I think, just recurring, it was most likely the case of like, yeah, you're gonna be part of like a multiple season franchise, and like, oh, the next season's the last one, which I'm like, okay, that's a little bit fair. Actually, what's funny to notice is that when I actually read an interview recently, because of course, obviously, writers and the cast members can't do anything about promotion with this season, which I'm like, it really sucks that like so many shows are ending right now because that was just the natural finale, and the cast and the crew can't even talk about it really because like they don't want to break the strike. Which I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Of course, obviously, they need to get what they deserve. They deserve to have the most fair shot they get to pay and recompensation, and obviously respect. But at the same time, it just sucks that like this show isn't able to have the cast talk about it till like they will talk about it eventually. Like the strike's gonna end at some point, but like until that point comes, they can't talk about anything. But the director, the showrunner, he had a brief clause to talk about it, and he talked about the reason about it. That the reason why this is the end is because, as many people know, Disney's going through a lot of things right now, a lot of changes, and one of those things is that there wasn't going to be a guarantee for a season 5. And like, yeah, they could obviously, like I said before, like senior year, like they're beginning their senior year. Like this show will end in winter. I'm still concerned if we're gonna get a graduation scene or they just left it like open ended, like just to like the sake of like, oh, maybe if Disney wants to do another one, we can. Again, I haven't seen the finale yet. This isn't one of those like I watched 8 episodes, I'm reviewing them piece by piece. I'm not doing that. I'm watching one at a time, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But the point is, he chose this to be the last season because he wanted at least the motivation of like, if we're gonna end it here, we're gonna end it here. We're gonna do senior year. This is the end of the storyline, the end of these characters, and that's perfectly how we're gonna write it. Which I'm like, that's totally fine. That's totally fine because like Disney has a history of like canceling shows last minute, and honestly the only thing is like that's a little concerning is that okay, if we don't get a season 5 and they ended in season 4, like I totally understand. I totally understand. It's just kind of weird. Like we should have had a time jump just to like coincide with graduation. I guess there was too many things to go on. But anyway, enough of that type spiel. They're continuing rehearsing. Max shows up, trying to win the. Let's be honest, Gina smithed him a little bit, with the fact that Gina didn't immediately fangirl over him. She kept it calm, professional. He's like, okay, wow, okay, I see how it is. Like you don't think I'm the hot stuff. All right, you know what? You playing hard to get? I can play hard to get too. Not really. He really wants her. So they keep rehearsing. Max doing his own rehearsal. Miss Jen tries to get into the auditorium to begin prepping for her auditions, but the director said, nope, I have the total auditorium for the next month, so you can't do shit here. So sorry, gotta go, bye. And obviously Miss Jen like really aggravated at her. She's just like, okay, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna do my own way. She sneaks into the rehearsal room just to like say like, hey, look, we're gonna have it in a different room. I know you guys are busy with the musical and everything. Even Courtney's just debating to say like, yeah, come on, like I kind of just want to do the movie and focus on my thing. Again, the documentary's kind of gone to her head a little bit, and they're just pleading with her like, please, just like one more time. Like if next year you don't want to do it, that's fine. Like this is the big one. This is like could be our last time together. And she's like, okay, she laments. So, eventually, they noticed that Danny hasn't shown up yet. Apparently, Danny had an emergency at her temporary apartment, so she's going to be AWOL for a bit. So, considering the fact Max still needs to learn the dance, they hire Gina to come in and like be his step-in partner for the time being, so he knows how to do the dance. So while they're doing this and the rehearsals and this rehearsal and also the auditions, they're like, you know what? It's time. We gotta finally put the first HSM3 song to Lay Baby. We got Now or Never, which I'm like, okay, this version was like, again, it's the same thing of like how they did it before with previous HSM movies to the show, where like It's not a direct adaptation. It's not. It's not like, it's not a Ricky song or just the male of the HSM world. It's not that. It's mainly just everyone just talking about like this is their final auditions. This could be the last time they're doing a show together at East High. So let's do it. This is now or never. And I'm like, I love it. I love every moment. Everyone got their own moment to shine. Very kind of sadly a little bit of a weak turnout for the audition, which I'm like, yeah, considering how the story's going, it makes sense. They managed to get everything done. All the auditions are done. The rehearsal finishes at the same time that Danny shows up. She immediately gets mad at Gina for like, hey, why is this girl like taking my spot? Like, I may be late, but y'all gotta wait for me. And they're like, no. And of course, the director having to cater to the talent. She has no choice but to explain, like, no, okay, yeah, no, I apologize, this won't happen again. She calls out Gina for it, but Gina, not wanting to like overstep herself, doesn't really defend herself. She kind of just accepts the beating, and then they move onwards. From that next point onwards, we get to I want to say back at the rehearsal room where they're wrapping it up. Ricky and Gina have like a sneaky way to like go meet up, have a secret rendezvous before their secret date, which I'm like, right, you guys are like going too ham on this one. Carlos is feeling depressed again because Seb's not here anymore. He didn't make it to the audition circle, and there's even whispers that Seb might move back to being homeschooled instead of being at East High, which I'm like, damn, Carlos, what did you do? What did you do, my boy? Eventually, Miss Jen gives Carlos the cast list, and Emmy volunteers to hold on to it. Just like, I got you. I got all the insight. I'm like, Emmy, you just came to East High. This is your second day. What insight do you have on the? I don't really know. I'm starting to lose control over these people here. Ricky and Gina meet up. Ricky wants to have their first official date. Finally, so they're just still trying to hide the fact that they're a secret couple, which I'm like, yeah, eventually this is gonna blow. Actually, I forgot to mention that Ashlyn figured out that they were dating because Gina was very like, she did the usual like, I know what you did, and Gina's like, how did you know that me and him were dating? He's like, I didn't know that. I meant something else, but now I know that. Which I'm like, yeah, high schoolers are like kind of dumb sometimes, kind of dumb. I want to say the day is coming to an end. Mac and Danny are still behind in the school. They're rehearsing a pivotal scene in Miss Darcis's classroom, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, right here, they have no chemistry. They don't. They're like, I understand this is a movie in a show within a show. I understand all that, but I'm like, these people are just like, God, they like. There's no chemistry. Like when Zach and Vanessa came on scene, like in that first one, like, you feel the energy, you felt it. There was just nothing between them. And I'm pretty sure this was just more like a social media campaign. Like, let's get two of the hottest stars right now to promote the movie and hope to God they end up hooking up. And it is on paper, but I could tell these two people have no care for each other. Yeah, if this movie wasn't a thing, they would be broken up by now. And the director knows, like, yeah, there is no energy. Like, how am I supposed to sell a movie if my leads don't have energy? So she's kind of screwed in the pooch right there. But she has a pretty sly idea how she can get someone, since she knows Gina dancing with Mac. So she makes peace with Miss Jen about the whole thing. And she's like, listen, you're going to listen to me. I got a deal for you. We can share the auditorium, but you need to give me a little something. And, sad to say, you got to make a deal with the devil sometimes to make your dreams come true, which I'm like, should not be said right now, but I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to say right now. Ricky takes Gina out for a surprise secret date in a animal rescue to see some little adorable little golden retriever puppy. They're so adorable. They're so cute with their big tongue. I want a dog badly. I want a dog right here on my lap when I'm recording these episodes, just petting him randomly. I would love that. But again, it's a sweet way to Ricky telling her, I'm sorry for like making fun of, your favorite show as a kid. Obviously I'm a little bit sensitive and jealous to this new guy. And even though like, Gina tells him like, Ricky, that was when I was a kid. I'm an adult. I'm a teen now. I'm with you. Don't worry about it. That was a childhood crush. Hence on childhood. And Ricky's like, I got you. And to make up to her, he makes up his own rendition of the theme song from that show. It's corny, but it's sweet. Still getting the point across. Like, I do care about you, and I do want like things to work out between us. They did adopting that puppy, but like I'm pretty sure like they're teenagers with no income. How are they going to be able to afford this thing? They had a text from the group chat. Apparently, the HSM3 cast list is live, and they're going to do a reading together at Gina's bedroom for some reason. I really don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why is in Gina's bedroom? Because Ricky's apartment is kind of small. Bigger, it's in Cairo. And you could say Nene, but Nene's gone already. So I'm like, I guess you really only have Gina's, like, spacious attic room to, like, really do this. So they rush over there, obviously separated so that no one draws suspicion. And yeah, the big moments arrive. Carlos reads the cast list, and it's as follows: Troy, Ricky is reprising his role as Troy. Gina's taking over Gabriella from Nene, who is not here anymore. Chad is left vacant. Not enough males audition and, like, fit the mood for Chad. So I'm like, they have no Chad. Amy is Taylor. Actually, no, wait, I forget. So Ashlyn has been moved over from Darbus to playing Kelsey, who I don't think they cast in the original play, but when they did it as a season 1, so that was kind of omitted. Courtney is now playing Sharpay, which I'm like, that's honestly great. Fits the mood for her character this season. Everyone else is relegated to background dancers, which I'm like, okay, great. So I'm like, and obviously they're wondering, like, wait, where the hell's the rest? Like, there's other characters, like, where are they? And it's like, yeah, most of the people that were going to audition got hired for the musical, got hired for the movie, and they're getting paid $100 a day. So I'm like, $100 a day? Like, that's not right. It got me $100 a week. I must have misheard something like that. So they're bummed. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, like, we don't have a full cast. Like, they're gonna have to struggle. Like, or have people like double play the roles just to, like, make it work. And I'm just like, damn, like, yeah, screwed right now. So they don't know what to do. Off the topic for a little bit, Courtney gets a Instagram notification from Danny. Apparently, Danny posted something very cryptic about Hollywood. Mac responded very harshly. And they're just like wondering what the hell happened today after we left. Like, something must have happened for them to have this type of reaction. Gina gets a call from the director letting her know that, yeah, so we fired Danny. But I talked to Miss Jen, and she said you got mad potential. So how would you like to take over Danny's role in High School Musical 4? And obviously Gina's left flabbergasted. The moment she's wanted, like, the moment that she can make her market has finally arrived. But the problem is that will she be able to lead a new movie and be the star, the co-star of the play? We'll find out next time, because that was it for this week's episode of High School Musical, the musical, the series. I thought this was a really, really great episode. I really did. Definitely focusing more back on our cast and just focusing on their struggles between getting to film their dream movie as well as same time, fulfilling their circle with doing HSM3 was a very unique conflict. It didn't go as fast as I was progressing it to be. Like, I felt like, immediately Gina and Mac would have their own, like, little flirtatious vibe going by the end of this, even though that's not the angle, but, like, just to, like, give the misprint of, like, the miscommunication that most teenage shows tend to have. So definitely, that being said, like, I'm very happy of, like, the stuff here. No, Now or Never was, like, a really perfect a really perfect take on the on such an amazing song for the movie. I think the cast did an amazing job on that. Miss Jen and the director's rivalry, kind of stemming to, like, a very stiff partnership, can be interesting. I'm actually very curious to see how that's going to all progress out to be. And yeah, I'm really curious to see, because I know Danny and Mac are part of the main cast, so it makes sense to why Mac's still here. But, like, what is the role Danny's going to play going forward is, like, going to be kind of interesting to see as we progress further into the story. But overall, like, yeah, again, this is feeling more like a combo of all previous 3 seasons, and it's really, really great. It's like, so far, it's nailing point on point. I'm very happy for it. I'm very excited to see where things are progressing. And definitely, yeah, this was definitely just a fun episode, like, just to play around with the format, play around with the new cast, the old cast, and like just seeing what you can may be as we approach this last stretch of episodes. So with that being said, I'm giving this episode 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed it a lot. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this week's episode of High School Musical, the musical, the series. I would love to hear your comments down below, as always. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the final season of High School Musical, the series. If you want to know what we're doing, know what's to do besides our HSMTMTS episode reviews. Right now, we are currently doing Nancy Drew and Heels episode reviews each and every week after brand news is on their respective platform. But if you don't care about HSMTMTS, you're in luck. We should be back tomorrow with another brand new episode review. So it should be, tomorrow will be 3, then would be Nancy Drew, then 4, Heels 5. So we still got a ways to go. Like, we're not wrapping this up for a while. Like, it's just been very crazy, the scheduling lineup. But, we will get to where we can get there. But don't worry about that. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Like, favorite, share if you want to. Ring the bell and follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, for all you Wildcats out there, I'll see y'all tomorrow for the next episode review. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.